Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Hughes, and this is Oxford News This Week. Oxford Village preparing for the brand new year. American Legion Post 108 struck by a vehicle. Also, seniors sending over kindness and wagging tails. Sit back. You're watching Oxford News This Week. The Oxford Village Council prepared for the year ahead. During the last meeting of the 2024, the council actually created a 2025 office calendar. They set up meeting schedules for the Zoning Board of Appeals, the Planning Commission, Downtown Development Authority, and the council itself. There are 9 holiday closings for the village administration offices and 11 for the police department. Council also appointed the officers and made board and commission appointments. Kelsey Cook, Allison Kemp will remain the village council's president and pro tem. Finally, the village unanimously approved a proposal for design engineering services for the Moyer Street project nearby Rowe Professional Service Company for a lump sum of $60,000. The village will receive topographic surveys in the work area, site visits, permits, coordination with other firms, and more. Village manager Joe Medor said the project will almost be identical to the Park Street project for the water main work they did and drainage and pavement improvements. Medor said he thinks the construction will actually begin in July. The Oxford Downtown Development Authority voted unanimously to in December to hire Rowe Professional Service Company for 3 village projects. Rowe will create a proposal and bid packet. Project will start the processing of engineering costs. The combined engineering construction cost for each project is over $200,000. The first project will create 2 crosswalks, one at West Burdick Street, the other at Hudson Street, and the other pedestrian alley adjacent to 10 East Burdick Street. The next project will enhance the current sidewalks on both sides of Burdick Street for about $100,000. Finally, the construction would remove and replace the existing sidewalk ramps along the north side of Burdick and Mill Street intersection to actually comply with the American with Disabilities Act. Some of the projects will be funded by the American Rescue Plan Act funds from Oakland County. To learn more about these projects, you can actually log on the Oxford Leader website. They have a well-detailed breakdown of those projects. A driver struck the American Legion Walter Fraser Post 108 in Oxford just before the new year. The information came from a post on a Facebook page by Tim Forsyth that was shared with additional information by the Oxford Fire Department. The driver of the vehicle allegedly had a medical emergency before hitting a car at an intersection. That would be Drainer and 24. The driver then diverted into a gas station parking lot where the car became airborne. The vehicle clipped the back of the helicopter that was in front of the Legion, but managed to divert between both trees and supporting beams, crashing through the display cases and coming to rest by the water. There's no updates again on the driver's condition. The Oxford Fire Department thanked the Orion Township, Addison Township, Brandon Fire Departments for their assistance in responding to the crash, hoping for a speedy recovery for all of the 3 involved. According to Tim Forsyth's page, the American Legion Post 108 will remain closed for now. It will reopen on the bar side as soon as possible. In an update to a tragic story that happened before the holidays, we brought you again last newscast. 66-year-old man who had actually fell through the ice while fishing passed away on New Year's Eve. It was just days before his wife was actually killed in a crash in Oakland County. According to the Oakland County Sheriff's Office, Scott Christopher Levitan was removed from life support. He had been in critical condition after initially surviving a fall through the ice on Lake George near Addison and Township on December 26th. His wife, Mary Lou Levitan, had died in a car crash on the way to pick up his vehicle at Lake George. She was a passenger in a car traveling on Rochester Road when another car actually crossed the center line, struck the vehicle head on. In the statement by Oakland County Sheriff's Michael Burchard, he said that his prayers are with the family during these tragedies. Oakland County's medical debt elimination program reached its first major milestone just in time for the holidays. The county sent letters over to 14,000 residents to notify them that $9.1 million in medical debt has been abolished. The letters are part of the broader county-funded initiative to eliminate up to $200 million in medical debt for about 80,000 residents. The program uses $2 million in federal funding from the American Rescue Plan Act. It is designed to provide financial relief to those burdened by unpaid medical bills. Medical debt is the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. It affects over 100,000 Oakland County residents. The program was conducted in partnership with the national nonprofit Undo Medical Debt. A new source of medical debt are ready for relief. The county will actually make more announcements as more funding is available. The Michigan legislature just recently, they adjourned prior to heading into their holiday break before beginning a brand new set of bills. Over 100 different bills will actually take effect in Michigan again on the new year, and the new year's already started. The wage increase, minimum wage increase, went up 23 cents. It's now $10.56. Then on February 21st, it will increase again to $12.48 for minimum wage. The changes are coming thanks to the major ruling from the Michigan Supreme Court that reinstates minimum wage and sick time laws that were passed back in 2018. Michigan's Governor Gretchen Whitmer signed the bills that extended unemployment benefits, providing an income tax credit for organ donation, and that require high school coaches now actually be certified in CPR. Additional, Michigan became the 5th U.S. state and the largest egg producer in the county to adopt cage-free requirements for their hens. Any farm that has over 3,000 egg-laying hens must house them in spaces where employees can walk into and provide care. For a full list of all the bills that will take effect in the next 91 days from the legislature that adjourned in 2024, click the regular season. You can log on to Click on Detroit. Their website has a complete list of all those bills. There's a new way to get nutritious food through the EBT and Medicare Advantage Flex cards. Millions of Americans use these payments to pay for groceries. Uber Eats began accepting these payments for grocery orders placed by Uber Eats. Delivery services can help older adults to avoid exposure to crowds, overcome worries about transportation, and walking and getting necessities. Although the delivery is only available for some stores, Uber Eats is working to expand for more retailers that accept SNAP EBT payments. Those who are interested in getting started must download the Uber Eats app, create an account, and add the EBT or Medicare Advantage Flex card as a payment method. Anyone with questions in regards to these services, contact this number, 866-827-4584. And this story takes us back to the mid part of December, but we want to make sure we mention it. Candy Cane Day was held on December 16th at the community room of the Parks and Rec Center. Attendees donated food and other items for free meals program that was hosted by Oxford's own Connie Miller, OCTV's own Connie Miller. There was a visit by Santa, musical, crystal bells provided by Lori Susset. In our Behind the Lens segment, we always enjoy that, sharing more Christmas with you. The Sheriff's Office, just a few days prior to the holiday, 42 Strong delivered 24 care packages to Oakland County Sheriff's Oxford Township Substation 42 mentoring program, and members of the 42 Strong's Team King assembled the packages. Amanda King and her daughter Addie, 2024 Oxford High School graduate and first-year student at University of Kentucky, actually delivered the package. Each one contained a collection of small items such as a hand warmer, pens, notepads, candy, lip balm, and other goodies, plus cards with handwritten messages. What a way to show support during the holidays. In our upcoming last story, warm paws and warm hearts. Dave Kenny's up next. Auto Talk and Science in the News. You're watching Oxford News This Week.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from Automotive News. Real-world driving conditions are less degenerative to electric vehicle batteries than lab tests, according to new research that suggests batteries may have longer lives than previously thought. Researchers from SLAC Stanford Battery Center, a joint project between Stanford University's Precourt Institute for Energy and SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory, monitored battery health metrics after 2 different types of charging and discharging. One type is most commonly used in labs when batteries are charged and discharged using a constant current. The other features charging and discharging that better mimic the real-world conditions with bursts of activity and rest called dynamic cycling. The researchers found, according to their paper published on December 9th in the Nature Energy Scientific Journal, that the batteries subjected to more dynamic charging and discharging cycles scored better on battery health metrics such as the amount of lithium or the degradation of electrodes. If you have to have accurate estimators of the health of your battery, you have to rely on data that is representative of the real conditions, says Alexis Gosling, a PhD candidate at Stanford and the paper's lead author. The findings are a potential bomb to consumers increasingly stressed about the possibility of having to replace a costly electric vehicle battery. A study by EY released in September found that battery replacement costs and access to public chargers topped the list of reasons consumers would not want to purchase an EV. Consumers have reported anecdotal horror stories about replacing batteries, which can cost between $5,000 and $16,000 outside of warranty, according to data from Recurrent. The rare but anxiety-inducing battery replacement threat is impacting adoption, despite the fact that EV batteries likely last for 12 years or more, depending on climate and vehicle usage, according to the Department of Energy. Gosling said the team was not sure if manufacturers use models or actual real-time data when displaying battery health on vehicle screens, but he said most battery testing uses the more degenerative lab conditions. Battery engineers use constant current to test the impact of a new design on battery health. That means the automotive industry has been evaluating new battery features using incomplete information. On top of being a very constant current, lab testing is also accelerated. It's not representative of how devices are used, he said. In real life, you have a driving pattern that is very dynamic. Researchers applied 4 battery discharge profiles to 92 commercial lithium-ion batteries over 2 years. They found that the more realistic the battery charging and discharging, the better the health of the battery. The result was unexpected because researchers thought those quick pulses of charge and discharge and the dynamic cycling would cause fast degradation. One could think that it would not be beneficial, he said, but that's not what we saw. Gosling said more research is needed to understand why those quick pulses have a positive impact at the particle level. We don't have access to the inside of the battery to know exactly what went wrong or what went well, he said. What we can tell is that the dynamicity, that is quite complex. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
crisis hits, close to home and across the globe, nonprofits are on the front lines, ready to serve.
Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming.
The demand for charitable services has skyrocketed, and nonprofits are rising to meet the needs. Healing, nurturing, rescuing, honoring, protecting, caring, inspiring. The work of philanthropic organizations of all sizes, across all missions, has never been more important. And it's donors and volunteers like you who make all this possible. Thank you. Together, we change the world. The Nonprofit Alliance.
Military families often sacrifice precious time away from loved ones while serving our country. And for those with children, the separation can be especially difficult.
We were worried that with him leaving, that she would lose those connections with her dad.
Some of life's best moments happen between parents, children, and the pages of a good book. United Through Reading provides that connection.
You can watch your mom or dad read a book to you, and it almost feels like they're really there.
We ensure they remain a consistent, meaningful part of their children's lives, no matter the distance.
Just seeing Jacob recognize Daddy again after a long time just melted my heart.
And now, as we're facing greater isolation from our loved ones, United Through Reading is also available to veterans. Learn more about United Through Reading and download our free secure app at unitedthroughreading.org.
Welcome back. Sports for Oxford High School. The varsity bowling teams have won several consecutive matches prior to the December winter break. The most recent match was on the 18th annual Davison Mixed Doubles Tournament, where nearly 100 mixed high school teams gathered at Richfield Lanes after a long, tough day of elimination bowling. Oxford sent 7 mixed teams to the event, and 5 of the teams would make the cut of 32. Then only 3 items would make it to the round of 16. Brother and sister team, Amelia and Matt Von Corning, moved into the medal round of 8 in that, and they did lose a tough competition with the Kearsley High School team, but still earned a set of medals. It was a strong showing for the team and a motivator to keep going toward the bowling season. Some quick sports here. Just before heading into the winter break, the Oxford boys basketball team defeated Troy on the road, 67-53. The score put the Wildcats at an undefeated 8 wins and 0 loss record. The team is also 3-0 in the OAA White League. The Oxford girls basketball team also took down Troy on the road, 49-32. The Oxford wrestling team started their winter break on a high note too. The boys pinned down Lapeer at the honor duel at 50-11's final score. The record improves to 8-2 in the dual meets of the season. And finally, Oxford's combined hockey team, the North Oakland Eagles, won the high-scoring league game against Farmington, 8-7, as an early gift to the holiday season. Again, watch for a lot of these competitions on OCTV. We congratulate our athletes. Again, we'll have more coming up in the brand new year, obviously. In our last story, stay tuned. You're going to want to watch this one. It's Warm Paws and Warm Hearts. Dave Kenny is up next. He has another segment, and I'll be back to close it all out right here on Oxford News This Week.
1 in every 500 African Americans in the U.S. suffers from sickle cell disease. 1 in 3 African American blood donors is a match for patients with sickle cell. 1 appointment to donate blood with the American Red Cross can help save a life. Will you be that 1? Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood today to schedule an appointment at a location near you.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
When a crisis hits, close to home and across the globe, nonprofits are on the front lines, ready to serve.
Keep coming.
The demand for charitable services has skyrocketed, and nonprofits are rising to meet the needs. Healing, nurturing, rescuing, honoring, protecting, caring, inspiring. The work of philanthropic organizations of all sizes, across all missions, has never been more important. And it's donors and volunteers like you who make all this possible. Thank you. Together, we change the world. The Nonprofit Alliance.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. To make the biggest splash when you dive bomb into the water, the secret seems to be use the Manu technique practiced by the Maori of New Zealand. This involves folding yourself so your torso and legs make a V shape as you fall and making sure your buttocks hit the water first. The origins of the Manu, which is a Maori for bird, are unclear, but leaping from bridges, docks, rocks, and diving platforms, aiming to produce the largest possible splash, has long been a popular part of Maori culture. And those splashes can be big. The winner of the 2024 Z Manu World Champs recorded a 13-meter high splash, for example. Now, Pankaj Rahia at the Georgia Institute of Technology in Atlanta and his colleagues have studied 50 human Manu jumpers in YouTube videos to analyze what they were doing with their bodies to send so much water flying into the air. They also created a mini Manu bot weighing just 115 grams and which could quickly open its body to mimic human Manu movements, and tested it in the laboratory. Rohia and his colleagues found that a human Manu comprises 4 different stages: water entry in a V formation, a rollback and kick motion underwater to enlarge the air cavity, the closure and collapse of the air cavity, and then the creation of what Manu jumpers called a pop or splash. When a solid object, including humans, falls or jumps into the water, it pushes water away and creates a large air cavity, he says. The pushed away water decelerates and then accelerates inward, driven by buoyancy force, and meets at the center with high velocity, which is called cavity collapse. The convergence of the flow generates a powerful vertical liquid jet known as the Worthington jet. That Worthington jet is the pop, says Rohia, and it is the opposite of what Olympic divers try to achieve when they minimize their splashes on entry into the water. The researchers found that to maximize the splash, the ideal angle of the V shape the body makes when entering the water is 45 degrees. The other key tactic is to open the body at the right moment underwater. If an average man, 1.75 meters tall, falls from a height of 1 meter, his impact speed is around 4.43 meters per second, says Rohia. The optimal body opening time of 0.26 to 0.30 seconds from the start of falling will generate the most powerful Worthington jet and we're all happy for that. Don't try it this winter, but come summer, have a ball. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
When the world's endangered animals need help most, when their lives are at greatest risk, when they would otherwise be lost, the International Fund for Animal Welfare is there, taking action to rescue the animals we love, to protect them and their threatened natural habitats. But the danger to animals the world over is growing, and the need for your help has never been more urgent. On land, you'll help stop poachers from threatening and killing elephants and big cats for the illegal wildlife trade. In the oceans, you'll help rescue dolphins, whales, and seals from deadly hazards. And you'll help rescue, rehabilitate, and release vulnerable animals when disasters strike. Here at home and around the world, we can't do this work without you. See how you can help animals and people thrive together at joinifall.org.
Welcome back. In our last story this week, Paws and Warm Hearts. 5 Oxford school seniors raising money for therapy dogs for the students of Appalachia High School in Georgia. The efforts are part of the International Baccalaureate Project for Students. Tristan Krejakarski, Sarah Gibbons, and Amelia Brown, Catherine Dupras, and Sierra Mutual. The seniors have personally been comforted and supported by therapy dogs at the Oxford High School and want others with the same support for survivors at their school. The students said they hope the therapy dog will be emotionally secure, comfort, healing to the students and teachers. The students will travel to Appalachia High School in February to donate the funds and support students and staff. The dog will be the student resource and rotate between classrooms. They have already raised $5,000. The goal is to raise $8,000 to pay for and train a dog. For more information, now you can help out. You can visit bit.ly/therapydog donations. Sounds like a good cause that the young ladies are involved with. And that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Oxford News this week. OCTV can actually be viewed on Spectrum Charter Channel 191, Channel 99 on the ATT Uverse system. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and the Amazon Fire TV Stick, the Roku app as well. If you have a show idea or maybe you'd like to volunteer at OCTV, give our office a call at 248-628-9658. Very special thank you going to our producer and director, Kyle Snage, news writer Allison Miller, station manager Terry Stiles. For everyone here at OCTV, I'm Jim Hughes, hoping you have a safe week. I invite you back next time. And again, we will take a look at Oxford News this week.